Her normally lustrous light brown hair lay tangled and limp. Her lips, which were usually turned up in a smile, were tight with pain. Lines radiated out from the corners of her eyes. Sadness, not joy, lurked in their pale blue depths. He narrowed his gaze. Streaks of gray ran through her hair. That's not right. She tried to come to him, but a man held her back. At the sight of another man's hands touching her, Sergei went wild. He slashed his tail out, intending to kill the man, but his aim was off due to the drugs. He hit the woman instead. She flew through the air and slammed against the hard wall, crumpling to the ground. The man swore and rushed to her side. "I never thought you'd kill your mate." Sergei froze. My mate. My Catherine. What have I done? "Bring her to me." It was hard to speak after being silent for so long. His voice was rough and deep. The man rested his fingers against Catherine's throat. "She probably won't make it." Sergei pinned his captor with his steely gaze. "If she dies, I die." He had no idea if that was true or not, but it felt right. His captor swore and yelled something out the door. More men with deadly guns rushed in. Sergei paid them little mind. All his concentration was on his mate. "Bring her to me," he demanded once again. Adrenaline pumped through his body, giving him strength. His captor shook his head. "No." He beckoned someone forward, and Sergei snarled. The lab rat. That was what Sergei called him. The man in the lab coat was the one who always took his blood. The lab rat scurried forward, deadly sharp knife in hand. It went against every instinct he possessed, but Sergei allowed the man to slit the more fragile skin of his throat open. Even then it was an effort. His Drakon's skin was thick, but not nearly as impenetrable as the scale-like plates that covered the rest of his body. Blood poured out into several containers, but he was a Drakon and quick to heal. The gash sealed, and the flow ceased. "Give her my blood." He stared at his captor, the one who pulled all the strings, held all the power. The man motioned to the lab rat, who hurried to Catherine's side, lifted her, and put one of the containers to her lips. Blood spilled out the sides of her mouth. "Don't waste it," his captor admonished. "It's bad enough we have to use some of it on her." Sergei renewed his vow that he would someday kill the man who'd captured his mate and used her to lure him into captivity. Because that's what had happened. He remembered now. Minutes ticked by, and she didn't move. His blood began to freeze. If she was truly gone, he would not live in this world. He would will himself to die, and he could do it. A gasp echoed in the chamber. She cried out, her pain like a spear to his heart. Her entire body spasmed. The lab rat and one of the armed men held her down so she didn't do more damage to herself. Sergei concentrated on breathing in and out, slowly and evenly. Otherwise, he might go mad. Finally, after what seemed an eternity, Catherine opened her eyes. Her gaze sought his. He expected to see fear after what he'd done. At the very least, anger. But there was only love and understanding. "Catherine," he whispered. She tried to crawl to him, still weak, still healing from her injuries. Injuries she'd sustained because of him. The lab rat and the soldier holding her looked to his captor. The man nodded, and they released her. On her hands and knees, she dragged herself to his side. He lowered his head, and she placed her small palm on the side of his jaw. "I'm sorry," he began. She shook her head. "No, my love. I know what you were trying to do." And she did know. His Catherine knew him better than